Namaskar. Welcome to the session. In this session today, I am going to give you the pedagogy key for paper 1 of 2011, which already I've shared in the groups we have done, and those who are viewing it record outside my groups can refer to it. Key and discussion on pedagogy of mathematics, paper 1, 2011. Right. So straight away, let me share the same paper which I have shared you in your groups, and with the help of which we would go ahead. All right. So up to 45, the content questions are there, which I have already discussed in previous sessions. So then question number 46 onwards, we have this pedagogy, which we will discuss now. All right. So let me share my screen so that you also will be able to see the questions along with me, and we will continue the session. All right. Hope your preparation is in progress, and should you have any questions, queries, doubts, clarifications, do not hesitate to share in our WhatsApp group, Telegram group, or below these videos in the form of chat, so that we'll be able to understand and try to support you to the best possible way. All right. Okay, I'm sure you are able to see my screen. And yes, here you have 2011 paper 1 math pedagogy questions. Begins from 46 to 60. We have these questions. So question number 46: when faced with word problems, okay. Question number 46. This is of 2011 math pedagogy. All right, as already I just made a mention, now we are going to discuss these questions. When faced with word problems, Rajan usually asks, should I add or subtract? Should I multiply or divide? Such questions suggest option 1, Rajan seeks opportunities to disrupt the class. Sometimes teacher may think, unfortunately, which shows teachers non-understanding the issue. And followed by Rajan has problems in comprehending the language. He's only asking addition, subtraction, multiplication, not every instruction. So not necessarily this. 3, Rajan lacks understanding of number operations. Yes, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Just hold on. And Rajan cannot add and multiply. It's not that, but he's asking what is to be done. If you teacher says, sometimes children tend to do the same, right? Have you observed in your experience? Yes, that's what the issue which is being discussed here in this context. So the best answer is 3, option number 3. 47. When teaching shapes, a teacher can plan a trip to historical places as 1. She has completed most of the syllabus well in time and needs to provide leisure. 2. It would be a good break from the routine mathematics class and an opportunity to improve communicative skills. 3. Field trips have been recommended by the CBSE, so they are a must. 4. Shapes are an integral part of any architecture, and such trips encourage connections across the discipline. Though all the 3 have some inch of truth, but ideal and the original genuine purpose of field trips in education are thus an integral part of, so, and encourages connections across discipline. Here maths and history, historical place, right? So 47, right answer number 4. Then we will move on to 48. Question number 48. Let's check here. Question number 48. Yes, you could see here this number 48. Yes. The NCF 2005 considers that mathematics involves a certain way of thinking and reasoning. From the statement given below, pick out one which does not reflect the above principle. So, yeah, just read 1, 2, 3, 4. First says the way mathematics material presented in the textbooks is written. 2. The activities and exercises chosen for the class. 3. The method by which it is taught. And 4. Giving students set formula to solve the numerical question. So therefore, this is the one which is not reflected the above principle. That is a certain way of thinking and reasoning. Doesn't mean fix them. Okay. All right. So question number 48, option 4 is the correct answer. 49. Sequence the following tasks as they are taken up while developing the concept of measurement. While concept of measurement is developed, following is followed. So let me reduce so that you could see the full question. Yes. Learners use a standard unit to measure length. Learners use non-standard units to measure length. Learners verify objects using simple observation. Learners understand the relationship between metric units. First, second, third, fourth. This is the sequence. So normally what do they do? Learners verify objects using simple observation is the first thing. So C, where is the C? First you see C. Then followed by B. Learners use non-standardized units to measure length. Yeah, normally first non-standardized, then we go to standardized. A, standardized units, and then D. Learners understand the relationship between metric units. After doing all these three, it is so C first, D last. Shortest way to identify this. Hope you got it. So question number 49, right answer number 3. Let's move on to question number 50. All right. Yes, here you could see question number 50. All right. Chalo, let's go ahead. Sequence the following tasks as would be taken up while developing. They would be taken up while developing the understanding of shapes and space across primary classes. So here also ABCD has given, and then which one is the sequence. All right. So let's see what are the ABCD options. Matches the properties of 2D shapes by observing their sides and corners. B. Describes intuitively the properties of 2D shapes. C. Sorts 2D shapes. D. Describes the various 2D shapes by counting their sides, corners, and diagonals. So now this first you identify which one do you think is the first. Which one is the first? Yes. Don't you see sorts 2D shapes, concrete, basic, and then you start with C. You have two options, 2 and 4, and then A or B. A says matches the properties of 2D shapes by observing their sides, and B says describes intuitively the properties of 2D shapes. Describing intuitively, as you know, the highest one of the highest levels of understanding. So that goes later. It should be A first. So C A, then B D. B is describes intuitively the properties of 2D, and finally C. So no, sorry. It should start with C. Yes. C, A, D, and then B. Finally, B describes intuitively the properties. This is the highest. So last B, you see, is only one thing. Or if you are not sure about that, you don't have that much grip. Alternatively, this you can start. See, that is sorts 2D shapes is the basics. Ultimately, question number 50, right answer number 4. All right. Okay. Yes. Let's move on. Problem solving as a strategy of doing mathematics involves option 1, extensive practice. 2, using clues to arrive at a solution. 3, activity-based approach. And 4, estimate. Problem solving is basically project, problem solving, learning by doing. The highest and actively involved methods, they are activity-based approach. So 51-3. 52, the purpose of a diagnostic test in mathematics is option 1, to know the gaps in children's understanding. Of course, it gives an idea. To give feedback to the parents. This is not the major or main of diagnostic. This you can rule out in the first reading itself. To fill the progress report. This also you can rule out. Least, of course, one of the important activity we are not denying, but academically least important. All right, by its original and main purpose. To plan the question paper for the end term, this is not. So therefore, to know the gaps in children's understanding. 52, 1. All right, let's move on to 53. Question number 53 here. Yes, you have a long descriptive question. Such questions you need to read fast, or preferably looking at this length. What I recommend, as you know, yes, skip this question in the first go. Go ahead, come back after the first round of your paper is done. Because see, reading this length question itself definitely takes more than 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. Not really worth of. All right. Anyway, this is being a practice. Let's give an attempt. If it is a final exam, if I were to write this exam, I'll skip this in the first go. Please note that this is also an important strategy which gives you good score in the final exam, but which you acquire only if you practice during your practice sessions as well. All right, let's go ahead. Okay, because teaches mathematics to a class of 56 students, he believes that conducting a test is effective if the feedback is given immediately. He conducted a short class test of 10 marks. What is the best possible way of giving the feedback effectively? He can let the students check each other's answers. Sometimes in most of the private schools practice like this. 2, he can explain the solution of each problem on the board and ask the students to check their answers on their own. One probable way. 3, he can have a whole class discussion on ways in which they have got their solutions and which is the effective strategy to arrive at the correct answer. One of the effective way, but let us see before fixing the answer. Pick out any copy at random and discuss the method. This is it. If you could decide in the first go is good. Otherwise, please follow, skip this question and get back again. All right. Question number 54. To introduce the concept of area, a teacher can start with, this is also same category. For your convenience, I'll give the answer straight away. Comparing area of any figure with the help of different objects like palm, leaf, pencil, notebook, etc. Don't worry, at this stage, after our pedagogy sessions, you'll be in a good position to answer this. For paucity of time and convenience for now, I skip up this reading other options also. Straight away go to what it talks about. Identifying numerators and denominators of different fractions, possible. Finding fractions on a number line, possible if already number line introduced. Writing fractions in the form of a by b, where b is not equal to 0. When you define the numbers itself, the p by q form rational numbers will be introducing. Identifying fractional parts of things around them. Introduce the concept of fractions. Okay, so historically from the early stages in social studies, 2/3 of the earth is filled by water, occupied by water. Land is only 1/3. Like that, fractional parts, or when you cut the apple into 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. If 4 people are to share it, you cut it into 4 pieces, 1 by 4, 1 by 4. So identify fractional parts of the things around them, and then probably they can go. So the best option goes to 4. Question number 56. While teaching comparison of fractions in which the numerators are same, 3 by 5 and 3 by 7. Rohit's response was, since the numerators are same and since the 7 is the larger than 5, therefore 3 by 7 is bigger than 3 by 5. Now this suggests that Rohit does not understand the magnitude of fractions. Rohit does not know the concept of numerator and denominator. Rohit does not know the concept of equivalent fractions. Rohit has not practiced well. So what do you say? Historically, traditionally, most of the teachers tend to say 4. I'm just joking, but there are teachers also. All right. So Rohit does not know the concept of equivalent fractions. How you can equate? If you want to equate, at least numerator or denominators, one has to compare and you should have. So that clarity he doesn't have. So it's question number 56. Option 3. 57. When teaching addition of fractions, a teacher came across the following error. 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 is equal to 2 by 5. What the child has done? Straight away added irrespective of numerator and denominator not being equal. So what remedial action can the teacher take in such a situation? Ask the child to practice as much as she can. This is a vague way of suggestion. No intervention is needed because she will understand as she grows. Then no education, no teacher also required. Help the child to understand the magnitude of each fraction. Maybe, but hold on. Help the child to understand the concept of LCM. Yes, when they are not like fractions, denominators are not equal, then probably you have to go for LCM. So option 4 is a better option to question number 57. Let's go ahead to question number 58. The chapters in the NCERT text of mathematics of class 4th have titles like The Junk Seller, Trip to Bhopal, The Way the World Looks. This shift has been done too. Why shift from junk to seller to trip to Bhopal and the way the world look has been done? Challenge the students to guess the mathematical content in the chapters. Make them understand differently. Option 3, make it interesting by relating it to everyday life. And option 4, know about selling junk and traveling. Yes, educational common sense says it is make it understanding by relating to everyday life. So option 3 is the right answer for 58. 59. To be a good mathematician, one must be able to memorize most of the formulae. Then computers are the best mathematicians. Solve the problem in no time. Of course, speed is important. Understand, apply, and make connections across the concepts more important than just mere speed. Master the technique of answering questions now. Of course, that is required, but ultimately 59.3 the right answer. The last question 60, a long description has given, and then finally suggest this. So what is it? Start a discussion in the class on things in the child's environment which roll and slide. Help children to look at their shapes and see how some things roll and others slide. So Maths Magic 2 NCERT book is a source. Suggestions like this have been given in the NCERT textbook of class 2 to help a teacher understand that why they are given, what is the purpose of this. Discussion is the best strategy for the mathematics class 2. It is imperative for the teachers to draw the children's attention to the things around them. Option 3, discussion supplemented with demonstration helps students to understand the concepts better, and discussions bring multiple perspectives into the classroom. So option number, yes, 3, you guessed it right, is the correct answer. Discussion supplemented with demonstration helps students to understand the concepts better. That's the reason. Start a discussion in the classroom on the things in the child's environment which roll and slide. Help children to look at their shapes and see how some things roll and some things slide. So you have discussion and then also demo. All right. So with this, we come to an end of this paper, and the full key also I'll share in the groups. You can cross check. Still you have any queries on the questions? Only English. Once the English madam comes back for our second spell of sessions, you can ask. Remaining all, you just ask. Either I'll directly answer or I'll get the answers from my faculty and we'll be able to share the same for your convenience. With this, thank you for your time and interest, and see you in the next live session. Do not forget to share, subscribe, and ask queries if you have any on these sessions or anything that you come across in the process of your CTET exam preparation. All right. So with these words, taking leave of you, Dr. Yakaiah, teacher educator by profession, inspiring teachers and researchers is my passion. See you in the next session.